welcome to Worship Tutorials. I'm Bradford. Thanks for checking out this video. We got some sound samples and we're going to talk about right now and walk you through the patch and the amp. Ever since we've started this tone match series, a Deluxe Reverb has been a very highly requested patch that we tackle. And this one does not disappoint, I hope, to you. To me, it does not. We love it. It sounds very, very nice. It sounds very, very good. It definitely captures the spirit of the Deluxe Reverb. And the one that we use in particular is an Alessandro rebuild. Basically, he took the 65 reissued Deluxe Reverb that you could get at Sweetwater if you would like, and he rebuilt it and did it all by hand as they would have in 1965, as they would have originally. The amp has a speaker. It's kind of like his own recipe that he did with Eminence to get his own special speaker, and he uses it. We actually have a 65 Princeton, like an original 65 Princeton, that ended up needing a new speaker, and it has one of those in there as well. And to our ears, when we compare it to another period correct Fender speaker in Oxford, it sounds very, very similar, just a little sweeter in the mids, just a touch more clarity. Back to back, you're gonna notice, but we realized when we played it right after we did all of our tone matching and all, it sounded very similar. So great amp, does do that scoop mids thing, and it really just has that snap to me. You run a Fender pretty clean, got snap, it's got power. And I'm gonna walk you through some of the sounds we have here. This is a Tokai, like a Les Paul Reborn, so it is a Les Paul for all intents and purposes, with some Doyle Coil PAFs, which are supposed to be cream of the crop. They're very nice. But you know, if you listen here, it's a very sweet sound. We got a King of Tone, yellow and red side. And you can't have a Fender amp and not have a tube screamer, so there's one of those. Fender amps are known for being scooped, and a tube screamer is known for kind of pushing the mids. And what we find with the tube screamer on a Fender amp is that it kind of levels you out EQ-wise, so it's not as pokey as like if you were to use a mid-forward amp, like a Vox. A Vox with the tube screamer gives you all of the mids, but a tube screamer with a Fender kind of thing gives you a real nice, chewy sound. I love it. You can hear a little bit, I added our light delay. We do that a lot. It's real nice. It gives you some extra ambience if the plate verb isn't enough. It carries things out a little bit more. You could just goose the mix a little bit if you wanted a little more prominent. So here's our dotted eighth delay. You gotta have dotted eighth, but this one's not mixed to the point where it's all just the edge. So we always do a dual delay as well. This is quarter and dotted eighth. Just, you know, you could bring that mix down too, and it works really, really well for some ambient stuff, or you goose it up a little bit more, and it's gonna be great for some of those real up-tempo, fast-paced songs to kind of, you know, when you're playing single note lead lines with chorus, as it were. It's really nice when you're doing like a big verby thing too, and you want to keep some space, but you don't want to play, so you want to keep some space that way, but you still want something to fill it up. It's really nice to... That was using our dynamic call, which that just sounds so chewy and delightful. That's what why I don't like playing Les Pauls. It just slid off my lap, and it's because of the weird cut. It's a weird thing for me. You got tremolo in chorus as well. That we always try to add some mod. So as what we have been doing a lot lately as well, we run all the effects into the front of these. And so you get two instances of the amp and the tone matched IR. They're the exact same. Some people are into that. Some people, you may find you want to just like sweeten one, maybe add some more mids or something, whatever. It's up to you if you want to kind of like add some space. If you do want to run effects afterwards, that is pretty easy. It does take some finagling. Oh, I wouldn't say it's not easy, but it's not easy. But it's not difficult either. It's depending on how comfortable you are. If you want to do it, just drag the amp to the top. I would copy the patch first. Anyways, you could do that if you want. But the effects into the front of the amp, especially with this tone match thing we've been doing, they receive the effects way more like actual amps do. So we're pretty stoked on that. Sounds great. You get two patches, of course, humbucker and single coil. We regularly get asked this. If just try it, there's no wrong answer. And there just are starting points depending on the guitar. And honestly, depending on the day, we may think that the single coil settings are a little too bright one day or something, or maybe they're too dark. So you can change them up and do what you want. If you got something like Lambertone's Cremas, which we love around here, you're not from around here. The Cremas, they sound great on either patch. You put them on the humbucker patch, they got a little more chime and they cut a little bit more. You put them on the single coil sound, they're a little fatter, a little beefier. So it's really up to you. Same with a big question we get often too is P90s. Technically they're single coil, but they're a little beefier than a single coil. So maybe the humbucker works better because there's less low end. You see, it's just try it, see what you like, and see what works best for you. That is about it. Make sure you've subscribed if you haven't. Links are below to grab the patches. We also, anytime basically going forward with this new kind of method we're doing, anytime we release a patch, it typically hits all units that it possibly can be for. So that means it's also out for Kemper. That means it's out for Fractal, Axe-Fx, FM9, FM3. It's out for PodGo. It's out for Stomp as well. Links below to grab those. We are also putting all of the patches for that like family of devices in one folder. So you just get the Line 6 folder basically. If you're a Line 6 user, you get the Line 6 pack and you get all of them. So it's great. It does make it easier for us, but also it's like if you bought it for Helix and you need it for Stomp, you got it. So all that is below. Stay tuned for more. We will see you next time.